It couldn't be placed and poised any better. 2-2 on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday, powered by Realme X7 5G and X7 Pro 5G. Sanjay Manjrekar and Ian Bell have some interesting decisions to make if they were part of the England and India think tanks, respectively. And let's start with potential team changes. Now, it looked like Owen Morgan wanted to win this game. He played his best side. He wanted to give Mark Wood a couple of games. Is there a case to stick with the same team now? Would you want to manage workload? Look at David Malan's position. Any changes that you would like to see for England?
No, I don't think so. I think if they'd have won this game, they may have made a few changes. But I think if everyone pulls up well and there's no niggles or injuries, I think he'll go the same again. I think in a way, probably Owen Morgan, to have a one-off game like a final in this last game is the perfect scenario. This is going to put both teams under a bit of pressure. A one-off game, can you deliver? I suppose that is the only thing you need in preparation for a World Cup. Yes, it's still 7 months away, but not as many games as you'd like. So a one-off game puts everyone under a bit of pressure, which I think Owen Morgan will be happy to see his group under that bit of pressure. So I expect them to go again the same if everyone pulls up fully fit.
Sanjay, you understand that if they go with the same team, it looks like a strong team which could easily have won even this fourth T20I.
Absolutely, and there's no compelling reason to make any changes. So I'm with Ian, absolutely no need. And considering now this has become the decider, and what a fantastic series we've had where we've come to the final game for the decider. So I don't expect, and there shouldn't be any changes in that England side.
Okay, what about India's team now? Assuming Kishan recovers his groin niggle that he has, and looking at not just the form of KL Rahul, but just looking at how he is in the middle, is there a decision to take there? If you're looking at winning the series, would you make that call, Sanjay? Would you bring in Kishan? How do India handle KL Rahul? I think it's part of the same conversation, isn't it?
It gets a bit tricky now, considering that this is a game that both teams desperately want to win. I have a feeling that Kishan may not play, and which is unfortunate, and that niggle, may also have helped India keep him out because they want to keep backing KL Rahul. The only thing that I would do is they want to give KL Rahul a long rope. He gets another game. They tell him that because you're out of form and you're a class player, you get another game, but he doesn't get the license to consume more balls than necessary. It's a good thing that his 14 of 17 didn't come to hurt India, but it hurt England for sure, because that's exactly what Malan got, 14 of 17. And maybe have a look at somebody like Tewatia if they feel, because Washington Sundar, this pitch not turning too much, they might want to have a look at Tewatia. They won't play Akshar Patel, far too many left-handers in that England team. So I would love to have Kishan back if the niggle is out of the way. But let's see how that goes. It's a tricky one for India.
Regarding this Rahul situation now, Ian, and given what you've seen of him, can it sometimes help a player to not play him when he's having a bad patch? Just say, all right, take some time out. There's an IPL coming. We still trust you. Or would you rather have him play this, what's now a pressure game, a decider, and he'd be feeling that sort of pressure and, a build-up of low scores as well? Can that be a good thing sometimes to leave a player out?
It can be sometimes. I think depending on the individual. I think that we've got so far now, 4 games in, you get the impression India really want to give him as longer opportunity as possible. I think the niggles and the injuries to Kishan, that will be the fascinating thing. See how everyone pulls up. Kohli was off the field towards the end there as well. Let's see how everyone pulls up again. There might be, like I said, those injuries, which probably actually helps India in their selection. But if you expect, out of both teams at the moment, I think India are more likely to make the odd change here and there. That's what they've done the whole way through this series. But in terms of KL Rahul, you sort of feel now India are giving him as much opportunity as possible, and that will carry on, you think?
Okay. On that point on Washington Sundar, Sanjay, is there a case for an extra bowling option now, or India are going to always bank on whichever 5 bowlers they pick to do the job?
I think they're okay for the moment. You might think they're a bit batting heavy because, very often they've not used all their batters, because Washington Sundar is a batsman worth his salt in T20 cricket. I don't see India making any changes as regards to the quantity of bowlers. Maybe they'll have a look at Washington Sundar and the pitch, being the way it is, and if they have to bowl again at the second half of the game, you might think of somebody like a Tewatia, a wrist spinner rather than an off spinner, because today there was a scenario that Ben Stokes was facing, or rather Bairstow was facing Washington Sundar, and you felt which is the ball that Washington Sundar can now bowl to prevent a big hit, and that is one of the issues that he has. So if he's not bowling with the new ball in the first 6 overs, worthwhile trying. But the risk I doubt they'll take.
All right. As well as Surya Kumar Yadav and Shreyas Iyer played in, would England need to just rethink tactically? Should they try more of these slower balls into the pitch, looking at how this Ahmedabad surface, which is in this unusual position of hosting back-to-back T20Is in 5 T20Is in 10 days, would they be better served looking at trying something similar, or their modus seems to be working just fine, Archer and Wood doing what they do?
Yeah, look, I don't think they've been a million miles away, have they? I think that we've praised their bowling. Their bowling's been outstanding. I think India today, there was some, like I said, it was a real good tussle, good battle between bat and ball. I wouldn't ideally want to see Wood and Archer trying to run up and replicate and bowl. They've got to use their strength. They're bowling fast. They're making it hard. Yes, they've got to adapt, and they have done that from time to time. But again, it's about doing what you're doing, going to your strengths, bowling what you can do, and always looking for wickets. And I think England are constantly, being aggressive, looking for wickets. I think today, India are just fantastic with the ball, towards the end, and there was some good batting as well. So I think more of the same from them. I don't see them changing too much in their tactics. I think their bowling we've praised a lot, and it is a very good bowling attack.
That is a wrap on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday, powered by Realme X7 5G and X7 Pro 5G. Do join us for the 5th and final T20I on Saturday.